Right, welcome along everyone. This is Rob Cornish. Thanks so much for joining me. And as you can see, we're going to be talking about the Nano Products Cash Machine, how to build a regular online income by selling tiny but super helpful products that take between 1 and 6 hours to create. Now, we've got a lot to get through, so let's just jump right in and actually have a look at what we're going to cover and what you're going to discover in this presentation. So first of all, we're going to look at how to create very simple PDFs, cheat sheets, resource lists, templates or mind maps that people eagerly pay for. I'm going to show you a case study from my own business, because that really, case studies and examples is what brings the theory to life. So we'll look at that a little later, and we're going to actually sort of get on and look at the actual step-by-step stuff that you need to do to get this running. So a step-by-step walkthrough of creating your first nano product and arranging targeted traffic by lunchtime tomorrow. Sounds a bit of an ask, that one. It sounds like, you know, really, could you do it by lunchtime tomorrow? Well, you can make that decision for yourself, but I'm going to show you the step-by-step stuff, and I think you'll be quite surprised at how kind of quick these projects can be. Now, traffic, absolutely crucial online, of course. You really can't make any money from the internet without it. So it's very important, and one of the great things with nano products is the traffic is, it's not quite, but it's almost built in. So I'm going to show you the exact 119 word template, word for word, that I've used to get over 110,000 warm and targeted visitors in the last 12 months alone. And you can use this, just take it away and you can use it yourself. Now, all of this and more, we're going to go through some other things as well. Without an email list, you don't need an email list to start out with this at all. You don't need any existing products to start out with this. You don't need any expert status. You don't have to be a guru or anything like that. You don't even need to be teaching anyone anything. That's a very important point, which we'll come back to. Now, I'm not a big fan of social media, really, Facebook, Twitter, that kind of thing. So you won't find any networking on social media, and you don't need to be spending money on ads either, or getting bogged down in tiresome, long-winded projects. So that's a little overview there, and really, housekeeping notice. This is kind of the deal, if you like, for the webinar, if you like, how we're going to roll with this. There's nothing for sale directly on this webinar, okay? And I'll be sharing with you lots of actionable content that you can take away and deploy immediately to make money. So this is actual stuff that I've done. Everything I'm showing you is stuff that I've done and made money from. So it's not theory or made up or out of books or anything like that. It's actual stuff that's made a lot of money for me. Now, that said, I am holding a live nano product training day in London in a few weeks' time. Now, I know obviously not everyone can make London and so on, and we've got people from different countries, but what I'm going to do after the main training in this presentation, I'll share details of that with you. It's more than a training day. The training day is just really the launch pad, the starting point, and there's a big package that I've built around that to support you as a fast-track solution. It's kind of the best of all worlds kind of thing, the way I've put it together. You'll see a bit later on. So if what we talk about resonates and you're keen to learn about a fast track solution, then stick around later and I'll explain all the details. But before that, we're just going to get on with the strategies and tactics, and hopefully I can pack in as much content and value for you as possible in the short time that we've got available. So before we go any further, just make sure that everyone can still hear me and you can see this. Does that sound good to you? Please type in yes if that all makes sense and you're happy with that. I'll just have a little sip of my tea here. Brilliant. Streams of yeses coming up. Thank you very much, everyone. And if you've just joined us, you haven't really missed anything yet, so welcome along. Now, the next thing is a warning, and some of you might find the next slide offensive, because as good as the stuff is that I'm about to share with you, and it really is great. It's a brilliant way. It's exactly what I would do if you took everything away from me, all my products and email lists, and I didn't know anyone. What I'm going to show you, nano products, is without a doubt what I'd do. There's just no question, because it's so powerful, but simple as well. However, there is kind of a downside, and that is work. So you've probably been on webinars where they build up and they make everything sound really hard and then say, oh yeah, but it's okay because you can buy this piece of software from me, and all you got to do is push a few buttons, and that software will kind of generate traffic, or it will build your list for you, or you'll make commission. So it's basically without any work. And if you follow me for any length of time online, whether it's 6 years or 6 months or even a few weeks, you'll know that I just don't do any of that stuff. So you won't come to any webinar that I do and I'll be pushing these kind of gimmicks and these sort of no work solutions, because in my experience they just don't work. It's as simple as that. So everything you see here today is a real business, but that does mean that it involves some work. It's just the way it is. And the main reason people fail to make money online is they spend most of their time searching for things that involve the least amount of work. So I'm going to give you a number of tips as we go through this. And here's number one. Rob's money tip number one is stop searching for easy and start stepping up. So what I mean by that, the more you chase kind of automated solutions which look like they don't involve any work and everyone, they're all bright shiny objects and all that kind of thing, the less money you're going to make, or the longer you'll spend around with not making any money at all. Really, where the money is, honestly, it's actually just stepping up, just going a little bit beyond your comfort zone, and actually putting stuff out there on the internet that's really good quality, that people actually want to buy. It's the kind of stuff that people are already spending money on already. That's where the money is. And if you think about it, there's no shortage of that. Billions of dollars, billions of pounds get spent on the internet every day, right? So there's a huge opportunity. Masses of money changes hands. But to get some of that and a slice of the action, a slice of the pie, you've got to really treat it like a business. And there are many ways to get tripped up and bogged down when it comes to making money online. And my own start in internet marketing can be summarized in 4 words. And those 4 words, this is going back to 2010 when I started, are 6 months, no money. That's my start. I began in kind of, March-ish, 2010, and I didn't know what to do. I typed in how to make money online on Google and got deluged with information, went round in circles, followed lots of bad advice and all these kind of systems, and really trapped myself. It was very frustrating. I think most people have been through it. You probably too at some stage. Some people get through it in a few weeks. They're the lucky ones. It took me 6 months, and some people it takes a lot longer, but it does exist, and it's a really kind of almost, unfortunately, like a rite of passage you have to go through. Now that was in 2010, and it was such a frustrating time. But if you fast forward to 2011, the following year, I brought in well over $100,000 in sales, all online from the internet. Okay, it's actually almost 200,000, I think. So how did I go from absolute no money and a 6-month struggle to then bringing in, well over 6 figures in sales on the internet? And what was the tipping point? What was the change? What changed for me? Well, it really comes down to this. Here's a quote from Tony Robbins, who you might know. If you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. Now you can say this in slightly different ways, but it's basically the same thing, okay? And here's my money tip number 2 for you. Study what successful marketers are actually doing. Not necessarily what they're telling you. So what you'll find is the people selling these push button software systems and all that kind of thing, that's not how they make money. They make money by selling that stuff, unfortunately. So really what we want to do is actually study what people are actually doing. And this was my revelation, the main one for me in 2010. That's what made the difference for me, from going from that 6-month struggle into doing, over 6 figures and actually making some half decent money online back in 2011. Because I stopped sort of just listening to what people I didn't know were telling me to do, and I started watching, I started observing what people are actually doing. And you'll see in this presentation some of the stuff that I've done and see that this is real. Okay, you've got to know what's actually real and then follow the same method. So what actually is it though that successful internet marketers do? We know we've got to look to people who are doing online business and making money and sort of emulate their methods or copy their method. But so what actually is it they're doing? Well, back in 2010, this, as you know now, this is what I was doing. I was going, okay, well, what are these people doing? What is it that they've all got in common? And there was one characteristic above all others that they, virtually everyone, almost without exception, had, that were making good money online. And you can probably guess what it is. Some of you might be there already in guessing what it is. But I'll tell you, it's this. Virtually all successful internet marketers have their own products. Please type in yes if you in the questions box if you've noticed this. I'll have another little sip of tea here. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe you haven't even thought of it before. If you haven't thought of it before, just, I mean, don't take my word for it. Just have a think about it. Do you know anyone or know of anyone who makes money online that doesn't have their own product? Obviously, for every rule there's an exception, so you might be able to find one or two here and there, but really 99%, virtually all have their own products. Think about people you receive emails from, their newsletters come into your inbox, or maybe you've been to live events and seen speakers on stage, or you've been on webinars or anything. They all make their own, they all have their own products, don't they? So we'll explain why in a minute, by the way, but here's Rob's money tip number 3. Become a product owner. These tips are the kind of the things that I wish I'd known back when I started in 2010, in March, April time 2010, because I didn't know that, and I was just kind of fumbling around in the dark really, using Google. So hopefully you can benefit from some of these and accelerate your progress. But become a product owner, that's really one of the key characteristics. It's the most important characteristic that really virtually all successful internet marketers have. But why? Why create your own product? Why bother? Because when I started out, I thought this, why not just be an affiliate and promote other people's products? Have you ever thought that? Because it sounds such a hard thing, doesn't it? Creating the product. I mean, you know, where do you start? When I was back in 2010, when I began, it wasn't even on my radar. I thought, well, I wouldn't know how to create a product. I don't know what product to create. And even if I did create a product, I wouldn't know what to do with it. So it was just kind of, it just felt like not a challenge. It just felt impossible. It just wasn't on my radar. So I did what most beginners do, newcomers, and think, oh, it's a bit too hard. What I will do is I'll promote other people's products. But if you've ever tried that, you will know that it's not as easy as it sounds at all, to say the least, because you've got a big problem, and that's how do you actually get traffic to these offers. So can you tell me, in the questions box, let's have a little brainstorm here. What are the advantages of creating your own product? There's no right or wrong answer here, so please don't feel embarrassed, and I won't read out any names, but just type in the questions box. Why would it be good? Why do you think all these successful internet marketers have their own products? What are some advantages? Okay, so it gives you authority. You can keep more profits. Yeah, you own it. It's an asset in your business. These are all great. They're really good. It makes it yours, so it elevates your positioning. Yeah, it's unique. That's, yeah, similar thing. Great. And one person, Delbert, you've kind of got it actually. These are all great advantages, and there are many advantages of having your own product. Remember earlier when we talked about stepping up? This is big thing to do is to create your own product or to become a product owner, as I mentioned in the tip. But there's one advantage above all others that having your own product gives you. I'll give you a visual clue. Delbert's got it already. It's traffic. That's the big advantage, is traffic. If you have your own product that you own, no one else has got it, it's yours. It's the asset in your business. It gives you access. It opens the doors to a whole world of traffic. So let's see why that is. If you create your own product, you can offer a commission to reward other people for recommending your product to their audiences. So think about it. Imagine you have, don't worry about what it is yet or how you do it, we'll come on to that, but imagine you just have a great product that's yours. Well, other people then that have audiences, they could recommend your products and send traffic over to your site. And when people buy, you can pay them a commission to reward them for that traffic. So it's like affiliate marketing. It is affiliate marketing, but it's in reverse. So instead of you being the affiliate, you're the product owner and other people are the affiliates and they send you traffic. So this means you don't need to rely on expensive or time-consuming traffic methods. So the things that I started with were things like article marketing, or there's something called joint venture giveaways. It's not really something I'd recommend. Forum marketing, stuff like that. Those things involve a lot of time if you've ever tried them. And it drove me nuts because I was doing so much work and articles and posting them around the internet and that kind of thing. And I really got very little to show for it in terms of traffic. Also, if you've got your own product, you don't need to spend your own money on Facebook ads or anything like that, or solo ads, because you can just offer a commission and get traffic that way. So you can let other people spend their time and money generating traffic and let them send traffic to you and pay a small commission for each sale they make, or a large commission. If you play a large commission, be more generous, then of course you'll get more traffic because it will incentivize them more. So that's the model. That's really what I've done an awful lot of over the years in my business, and particularly with Nano products. This is exactly how I've received over 110,000 warm and targeted visitors in the last 12 months. Here's something else to consider. If you've got a product and other people are recommending that product, affiliates are recommending that product and sending you the traffic, that traffic is warm and targeted because it's come from an affiliate who's done a pre-sale, who's warmed people up, and they already have a relationship with those visitors. So that it converts really well. That's how you make so many sales. But if you go and buy an ad, let's say on Facebook or solo ads, or you do article marketing or whatever, that's what we call cold traffic, because people know they're clicking on an ad, and then when they click on an ad, their guard goes up, right? So you've got to do a lot of work to warm those people up, give them something free, get them to past a squeeze page, send them loads of emails, and then maybe you can get them to buy. But when you've got your own product, you can make those sales straight away because you've got that warm and targeted traffic. Now, is this making sense? Can you let me know? Before we go any further, I think back to when, you know, if it was 7 years ago and I was looking at this, I'd be like, probably, oh, I kind of get this, all right? But maybe I'm a bit hazy on it. So if you feel a little bit fuzzy in your thinking on this and you kind of know what I'm talking about, that's totally fine, because we're going to go into this in more detail. But okay, great. I can also see a lot of people saying, yeah, absolutely, yes, makes perfect sense, brilliant. That's cool. All right. So if you're not quite sure at this stage, don't worry. Come with me. We'll continue, and hopefully it will make sense very shortly in a few minutes. So why doesn't everyone do this? If this is as easy or as straightforward as it seems, why doesn't everyone do this? Because they don't, do they? It's only really those successful groups of people that have their own products that make the money online. Why doesn't everyone do it? Well, the two biggest things that put people off are these. Number one, they believe they can't create a product. That's exactly how I felt 7 years ago, because as I said, I wouldn't know what to create. I thought creating a product would be incredibly difficult, and I wouldn't even know what to do or how to sell it if I did create a product. And secondly, a common kind of, I suppose, self-limiting belief, you might call it, is that they think getting traffic from affiliates is difficult. So what I'd like to do, hopefully in about 20 minutes time, you will see this in a completely new way and realize that you can absolutely create a product. And it's a lot simpler. It's so much simpler than you might have imagined before. And you'll understand a bit more about how to get affiliates and realize that that's not actually very difficult. It really isn't. And it's such an abundant, powerful traffic source that's really at your fingertips. So here's a question for you, starting completely from scratch, and let me know in the questions box, starting completely from scratch, could you create a quality product and arrange targeted traffic by lunchtime tomorrow? Let me know, what do you think? Could you do this? No, not a chance, not a chance. Trev has said yes, well done Trev, okay, that's good. All right, the majority, the vast majority is no. Seems very difficult, says Dave, but we have got a couple of people saying yes, so congratulations for that, that's brilliant. Now for the other people who said no, you're in the majority, I can tell you. So let's look at how to do this. Here's how to create a quality product and arrange targeted traffic by lunchtime tomorrow. Remember at the start I mentioned you've got to do work in a real business. This is where the work is, okay? So pay attention and you can judge for yourself whether you're up for this or not. Right. We want to look at nano products. This is the name, kind of the name I've coined for it. It's just my term that I've come up with, nano products. You could call them micro products or small products or something like that if you want to. But let me show you what this is about. The old way of doing things are products like these. So we've got 9 60-minute interviews with Forex currency trading experts. Okay, a pack of interviews. 118-page report on building your first website. And another product example is a 17-hour course on improving your productivity. Now these are all different products in 3 different profitable, very profitable niches, but they're all quite big products. They're all these kind of bulky products where, you know, it takes a long time to go through them, you know, as a customer. And traditionally this is what marketers have called the thud factor, T-H-U-D, thud. Because it's like a big box of stuff landing on your doormat, thud. It comes from the old days before the internet, in the direct mail business. So when people made offers, you might see them in the paper and you could cut out the coupon and send it off, and then you'd get a big thud factor on your door a few days later, you know, with this big box of stuff. And of course that's worked, you know, it's absolutely worked. And you've all seen products, you've probably seen product shots like this where you've got CDs, DVDs, software boxes, manuals, templates, workbooks, goodness knows what. But what you're finding now is that people are more short on time these days. Back when I grew up in the 80s, there was 3 TV channels here in the UK. I remember when Channel 4 actually started up. That's probably really hard. If you're in America, it's probably really hard to believe that, but there were just 3 channels in the whole country. There was no satellite or anything like that, or cable. But now we've got loads of, I don't even know how many channels I've got on my TV. It's loads. And there's Netflix, movies on demand. People have got iPads and stuff on their mobile phones. People are short on time, they're working long hours. And you know, there's video games, all sorts of things. So people are increasingly time poor. So what they're looking for, there's a new kind of trend developing, you're seeing it more and more now, is that people want small bite-sized bits of information so they can get a quick result or move forward quickly with very little sort of pain, or in a painless, easy way. And that's kind of what nano products are about. So give you an example of some nano products. We'll dig into this, I'll show you some real stuff in a minute. These are kind of hypotheticals to give you an idea. But you know, one 45-minute expert mastermind session. Okay, so instead of 9 hours of interviews, which isn't very appealing anyway, because the customer thinks, oh goodness, I've got to listen to 9 hours, you know. Instead of that, just a few golden nuggets in 45 minutes. Brilliant. A 3-page website building resource and tools list. I don't know about you, but if I wanted to build a website, I don't want to go through an 118-page manual. I just give me, you know, maybe brief instructions, a few other links to other useful websites, stuff like, hey, look, if you want some graphics for your website, or you want to adjust those graphics, here are a couple of like free, really good sites that you can use. Brilliant, really helpful. Moves me forward in a very short space of time and easy to consume. And a 1-page productivity tip sheet. So these are often called cheat sheets, things that little tips and cheats that you can do quickly to get kind of quick little wins, quick results. These are Nano products. And if you want to remember them, it's kind of like small is beautiful. That's the way of thinking. The old way on the left-hand side is bigger is better. That's what you'd say, or the thud factor. But Nano products is all about small, bite-sized information that saves people time and hassle. So you can do Nano products in lots of different ways, and I've done all of these, videos, audios, templates, tip sheets or cheat sheets, resource lists, and PDFs. PDFs are really what I'm going to look at today. It doesn't really matter what format it is. I've done all of these and they all do well, but PDF is a good one to start with. It's one of these, you can't really go wrong with PDF. So they're fast to create, and as a general rule, if it's taking you longer than 6 hours to create, you're probably making it too complicated, and I think you need to stop and just think about what you're creating. Now, I've created a Nano product in less than, I can think of one of them at least that I've done in less than an hour, right? But I'm not going to predict that for you. If you're doing it for the first time, obviously I've got a head start because I've been doing this for years and so on. But in any case, if you keep 6 hours in mind, that's a good rule of thumb. So, you know, if you want to take your time on the first one, it takes 7 hours or something, then fair enough. But really, beyond that, you're creating something too big. So keep them compact, small, and concise. Now, they're also low priced. I've tested the price range between $7 and $27. And the best results I've got are from the midpoint, so something around say $14.95, that's a good price point, $17 and up to $27. That's where I've done the best, okay? If you go too cheap, it becomes difficult, right? There's really not enough money kind of in that. And also going a little bit higher, it increases the perceived value. So if you're not sure, pick $17 or $14.95 or $19.95. Those are the good impulse buy price ranges. Impulse buy because people can just see it, they think, oh, this is good, yeah, buy. All right, they haven't got to worry about whether they've got enough room on their credit card or whether they need to chat to their wife or husband about this buying decision. It's not buying a new car, you know, it's just a report or a small video or a little audio or something like that. And they're very, very high demand. As we've looked at, people want quick and fast shortcuts. In the UK, I don't know if this is in the US, but the UK in the evening, you have these sort of 60-second or 90-second news updates. So they'll give you all the headlines and like what's going on in the world in sort of 90 seconds. Well, in the old days, you didn't have that. You had to sit down at 10 o'clock and watch it for 40 minutes or 30 minutes to get what's going on in the news. So that's another example of more bite-sized information that's creeping in. We've also got a paper in the UK called The Eye, and that specialises in bite-sized news as well. You know, whereas when I grew up, it was all broadsheets, newspapers that you needed hours to read and digest and so on. So you'll probably start to see this trend of sort of nano products in various different fields. This is not just internet marketing by any means. It's a really great trend and a brilliant time to get on board. Now, it's very important to remember you don't need to have any expert status or track record because the raw materials for nano products can be found for free online. And this is my tip or money tip number 4. Should say Rob's money tip. That's what it should say. Number 4. Don't worry if you feel you're not an expert in anything. So if you feel like you don't really know anything, you've got nothing to offer in terms of sort of teaching anyone anything or writing an ebook or anything like that, that's totally fine, because that's not really what nano products are about. Hopefully you'll see in a minute with the examples I'm going to go through, you're not teaching anyone anything. You're not giving over your expertise. All you're doing is you're gathering up some useful resources and you're packaging that up, selling that, and it just helps the customer save time and hassle. Okay, really important to remember. Okay, so here's an example of a nano product. Is this making sense, by the way? Is this all making sense so far? Brilliant. Okay, great. So here's one of my nano products. It's a PDF. I mentioned we're going to look at PDFs mainly today because I think it's easy to understand. You can't go wrong with a PDF. I've done loads of them. So let me show you. That's a screenshot. We'll come out of the slides, and I've actually, hopefully, here we go. Yeah. Right. So this is the actual product. I'm just in the PDF Adobe Reader here. So I created this in Word, Microsoft Word. If you haven't got that, you could use OpenOffice, which is free, or you could use Google Docs, which is also free. You'll come up with this, exactly the same thing. It's called the High Converting and Recurring Affiliate Program Database. And if I show you, you might be able to see at the top here, it says 12 pages. So this is a 12-page PDF. And if I scroll down, can you just let me know, can you see this? Can you see this PDF on the screen? Okay, brilliant. So all it is a list of affiliate programs, all right? So have a look, you might recognize some. If I scroll down, okay, wishlist member. What else have we got? Dropbox. Some of these you might remember, you might know. GoToWebinar, that's what we're using at the moment. Just Host. Okay, so look at the product. This is an example of a successful nano product. That's it. All right, that's the end of the nano product. So I wanted to just show you that. That's all it is. There's nothing more to it than that. So do you see what I mean? This is not about we're not teaching anyone anything in this at all. It's just giving them resources which helps them save time and hassle. Now, let me ask you this question. How do you think because I created this personally, okay, this product, how do you think I created it? Let me know. I'm looking for a one-word answer here. Yeah, Google, exactly. Here we are in Google. So this is what I did. I went to Google. Hopefully you can see this, and I typed in things like top affiliate programs. Okay, have a look at the results. Top 20 affiliate programs. Oh, that's a bit old, to 2015. High paying affiliate programs. Top 10 affiliate networks for 2017. 18 best affiliate programs and networks for anyone and everyone. So do you see what I mean? This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that really all of the information's out there in Google already. There are a few other places, by the way, that we look at, but Google's a good one. But the thing is with Google is that it's very chaotic. So a lot of this stuff is maybe a bit out of date, like the 2015 one. Some of the sites, obviously, as you know, when you click on them, they're not very good, or they're not found, or something like that. So you need to do a bit of digging and collating to pull out the good information. That's all I did for this product. Is I sat down at Google and I did a little bit every day, and I compiled it. All right, so let me show you exactly what I do. By the way, in terms of this product, I tested a couple of prices, and these are the sales results. So I've got, if you add these up, that's about 1,500 copies or just over, and over $35,000 in sales revenue. Okay, so just think about that, $35,000 for that PDF. So can you see what we're talking about here and how powerful this is? So when you think, you know, back when I started 7 years ago, a product, I always thought of things like an ebook. So I'd have to write, you know, a 50-page ebook, and I'll do it over like you know, 2 months, or I'll take 3 months to create it and have different chapters and research all the information and all that kind of thing. But if you're talking about nano products, which is this big trend, you can do so much stuff and really help people out and save them time and hassle. Customers love it, and you can do it very simply. So you haven't got to get bogged down into these big long-winded products like large ebooks or big video courses and all this kind of stuff. So what I will show you, if we skip forward, here's Rob's money tip number 5 now. And this is, I'm not kidding, I do this every day. Not just with nano products, I do it really in other parts of my business as well. Even if I'm doing admin, stuff like that, I'll do this. And it's this, 40-minute chunks, work chunks, all right? So let me show you, I'll show you in Google actually, if we go back, it's probably easier. So if we go back to Google, do 40 mins timer. Now if you do that, you'll get a countdown. And when it gets to 0, it beeps. It just goes beep, 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 and that's it. And that's when you can stop. Go and have a cup of tea, go for a walk, just take a break. Even if it's for like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, just take a break. Or just down tools and go, great, I've moved forward in my business today, I'm going to come back tomorrow. But this is how to do focused time and actually get things done in a way that's never intimidating. You never get that Sunday night feeling of impending doom, like you've got to go back to work on Monday morning, because it doesn't matter, you just do 40 minutes, okay? And you will be amazed at how much you can actually get done, because these really add up, okay? So does that make sense? Let me know. Does that sound like an appealing way to work? This is not a beginner's thing. I haven't made this up or anything. I literally, to this day, I do this all the time. Even like I said, with nano products I do it, but also even admin stuff like doing if I'm looking at the books, or you know, I've got something on the business side to do, something like boring like that, I'll just allocate 40 minutes, sit down and do it. And I know that I can sit down for 40 minutes, even if I've got a terrible cough and cold and I'm not feeling my best, I can still do 40 minutes. So it really takes the intimidation out of any project that you do, particularly with nano products, because nano products are quite simple, they're small and clear to get through as well. So you can cruise through this, do a really nice job, enjoy it, and not feel like there's any weight on your shoulders, or feel like, oh, I really, you know, not up for this and everything. Just take it easy, take it all in your stride. So let's go back. I think there's some breakup on the visual there. I think Paul mentioned. Hopefully it's okay back in the slides. I think sometimes with GoToWebinar it just messes up the visual, so I apologize for that if you had some problems, but hopefully you got the message. So here's the important thing to remember. Everything from start to finish, A to Z or A to Z, in the nano product system, from a standing start to making money, can be done with these simple 40-minute daily chunks. And if you look at this product, the one we looked at, that's what I did. I did about, I think, 30 or 40 minutes a day for about a week, and the product was done. So let me ask you, from what you've seen, do you think you could create this product? If you did the 40-minute session, you know, just go to Google, 40 minutes timer, do you feel like you could go out and Google and gather together some of these useful affiliate programs? I'm just going to have a little sip of water here. Brilliant. Good. Yes, lots of people saying yes. And of course you can, right? So do you see what I mean as well? You don't need any of that. You don't need to be a guru or anything like that. It's just about sitting down, doing a little bit of work in small chunks. So here's another one, right? I don't know this lady personally at all. I just know of her. She's called Barb Ling in the United States, and she's done a cheat sheet. So this is similar. It's actually simpler than mine in a way because it's just one page. It really doesn't matter how long they are. You know, it's just the information that matters. But she's, again, not teaching anyone anything at all. That's the important point. She's not teaching anyone anything. She's just creating, she's just brought together useful resources, this time on list building. So that's one of the key things to remember with Nano products. Now, Rob's money tip number 5. This is a beginner's mistake that you really want to avoid. Don't try to solve all the customers' problems. What people do, they think, right, I'm going to create a product. Oh, I'll do a big ebook, 5 chapters on this topic, and they research absolutely everything and try and pack in as much information because they think that's genuinely more valuable. But of course, what happens is it becomes very muddled and kind of convoluted. So really important. What I want you to do is imagine a ladder. Imagine a ladder. At the bottom of the ladder is your customer. All right? So just look at the left-hand side of the screen. Imagine your customer is at the bottom of the ladder. Now, at the top of the ladder is their ultimate solution. That's what I call it, the customer's ultimate solution. Now, usually, if you're in a good profitable niche, which you should be, then that ultimate solution is worth many thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars to them, because that ultimate solution really represents their ultimate goal. Okay, that might take them a lot of time to get to, a lot of work perhaps, but it's their dream. It's their dream, if you like. But a great nano product simply takes them up 3 to 4 rungs on the ladder quickly and painlessly. That's another thing to think about. Okay, so remember, these are small products. They don't solve all the customers' problems. They just help them a little bit. So think about this ladder. Think about what the ultimate dream is for the customer, where they'd really ultimately like to get to, where they are now, and then just think about a nano product in helping them up, 3, 4, maybe 5 rungs on the ladder. That's it. Simply aim to give them a nice step forward in a short space of time. That's all they want from a nano product. They do not expect all their problems solved and their ultimate life dreams to come true as a result of buying your $27 nano product. Does that make sense? Let me know if that kind of resonates with you and you kind of get that. If you think back to, the affiliate marketing database that we just looked at, which was the one I did, where it was just a list of affiliate programs. Think about that. Does that solve all the customers' problems? No, not at all. It doesn't teach them how to do it. It's affiliate marketing. It doesn't teach them how to get traffic. It doesn't teach them anything really. It just helps them up a few rungs on the ladder to help them save a bit of time and energy, a bit of time and hassle saved, because they don't have to go out and spend that time researching all these affiliate programs. So if you see that, you kind of get that distinction. That's a really good thing to write down. So let's do it. So are you up for an example? Should we go into actually do it and look at how we'd actually get this done really? Brilliant. Okay. So key thing to remember: one problem, one solution. Remember, we're not trying to solve all their problems. So here's a problem we could solve and create a nano product around. Online marketers and business owners want squeeze pages for their websites. But how should their squeeze page look? What should they give away in return for people signing up? And what headlines and bullet points should they use to maximize opt-ins? Maybe you've even had this problem. Think about all the people there's thousands of websites, thousands of online businesses in all sorts of different areas, and so many of them have or want squeeze pages because it's a great way for people to, obviously customers to sign up or subscribers to sign up and get on the list. But what do you give away? Is it like a report, a list of tips, or an audio or video, bit of software? What do you do? And then how should it look? What's the good design? Can you see the problem here? Now, people spend a lot of time on this. They waste a lot of time on it. What I like to do is try and bring things back to sort of common sense, right? Because it's so easy to get kind of bogged down in, get into this internet mindset. Let me ask you this question. If you want a new kitchen in your house, what's the first thing that you'd do? Let me know in the questions box. If you want a new kitchen in your house, what's the first thing that you would do? Don't overthink this. You're just thinking about, oh, I wouldn't mind a new kitchen. Okay. Research it online, measure it, says Paul. Go to a showroom. Okay. Well, yeah, somebody's got it. Exactly. So what would you do? I tell you what I would do. Maybe this is different for you, but what I would do if I want a new kitchen is I would go and get a catalogue of kitchens in a little book and go through and look through these kitchens and see what I liked. Yeah, look for kitchen designs. Exactly, Dave. You've got it as well. So do you see what I mean? All right, the very basics. Because that's so helpful, isn't it? Because I don't know, I'm the world's worst interior designer or thinker. I've got no idea. I know what I like when I see it, but I can't imagine it. So similarly, if people want a squeeze page, why not create kind of like a catalogue of great looking squeeze pages that they can look at? So our solution could be a nano product called Ultimate Squeeze Pages. We can create a catalogue of great looking squeeze pages so people can look at it and figure out what they like and take ideas and inspiration from it. Brilliant. Save them loads of time. So here's how we do it. We go to Google, type in squeeze pages, then click on images at the top, and straight away we get loads of images of different squeeze pages. Now, of course, like anything in Google, some things will be terrible, some things will be great. So we need to cast our eye down this page and have a look for interesting, eye-catching things. And of course, you could do other searches as well, like opt-in forms and all this kind of stuff. You can start with this and just go through, and anything that catches your eye, you can add to a document. So again, as you know, I think I mentioned a moment ago, I like to use Word, Microsoft Word, but you could, use that or OpenOffice or Google Docs. I've put the title at the top, then I've copied in the image from Google. And I like this one, get your 3-day meal plan free, because I thought it looked quite nice and clean looking and so on. So one thing that you should always do, just like when you're using a quote, you should always sort of link back or mention who that's from and so on. Always respect other people's copyright. So what I've done, you'll see here, is I've put in the link to the original source. So just like when Google has all these squeeze pages, they link back to the original source on the web, you do the same. All right, so you're always respecting other people's copyright. And then you can go on. I really like these two. I think they're great. One in the golf niche, which is a very profitable area, as you probably know. How to get up to 50% more yardage in 1 minute or less with this stupid simple technique that nobody teaches and 95% of golfers don't do. Brilliant squeeze page. And the other one from the Motley Fool at the bottom there is cool as well, I think. One stop to own when the web goes dark. Fabulous. So hopefully you get the idea of this kind of product. Again, can you see we're not teaching anyone anything? You don't need any expertise at all. We're just taking some time to gather up resources and put it together. Now I don't know about you, but I would buy this product. Absolutely, I would. 27 bucks or 19.95 or 14.95 or whatever it is, I'd buy it, because whenever I want to create a squeeze page, wouldn't it be so useful? Wouldn't it be wonderful to look through this and just get ideas, see what other people are doing in different niches? And it would be useful not only now, but in the future as well. So 2 important questions for you. And let me know honestly. Okay, if you disagree, let me know. Do you think that someone who is interested in squeeze pages and email list building would find this a valuable tool? Type in yes if you do and no if you don't. Yes, 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 absolutely. Loads of yeses. Brilliant. Okay, there's a little delay for these to come through. Brilliant. Here's the second question, probably more important or equally as important. Could you create this product in 40 minutes per day chunks, just like we looked at? Honestly, do you think you could sit there and go through the 3 steps that I've just outlined, we just looked at, and do you think you could do that? Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's saying yes. Of course you can, because it's really the same. It's a different product, but it's the same process, isn't it, as what we saw before? So this is what we're talking about here. Nice, clean, simple, but really genuinely useful products for the customer. Not sort of dodgy stuff or, you know, out of date things or, you know, anything like that. They don't require any credibility, because people aren't interested in you know, your credibility, because it just does what it says on the tin. So I think what we've done is shown a little bit how to create a quality product, but we haven't done the second part, which is traffic. So let's go on and look at how to arrange targeted traffic. So is getting traffic from affiliates difficult? Well, the simple answer is no. However, there are a couple of things that conditions to that. So getting traffic from affiliates is not difficult, but well, getting affiliate traffic is easy, provided that you have a good quality product. That's really important. A big mistake some people make is that they buy kind of PLR products or licensed content stuff. Now, there are some really good licensed content stuff out there, all right? So I'm not criticizing licensed content, but what I am saying is that most of it is junk. So you've got to be highly, highly selective and very, very careful with what you're getting. You probably know this, and particularly if you've tried it. So if you're trying to get affiliates to promote something that's PLR, typically they won't be interested, because it'd be embarrassing to promote it. I wouldn't promote that kind of stuff. But if it's a good quality product that's fresh, innovative, genuinely helps people, it's really, the product's done the work for you. But the big secret is to approach affiliates correctly. So important, this, all right? You've got to do this. So let me show you. This is what you shouldn't do. And I've got a little library of these, actually. Just really bad examples. Obviously, I've blurred out some of the details here. But this came in via Skype. Hey Rob, congratulations on your successful launch with Interrupt to Profit. 10% conversion, amazing. I'd like to invite you to promote my biggest launch yet, called, it's converting at 22%, and you know, and then I know your list is going to dig it. So that is actually is not by no means the worst example that I've had, but it's not very professional. It's not exciting me in the slightest, and this is the biggest mistake people make. I get these all the time. I got one earlier today, just as I was sort of tweaking the slides for this presentation this morning, and I just ignore it. So I can't remember which button I clicked here, accept or decline. I think it was decline, or maybe I didn't press anything and I just ignored it. But I didn't engage with this at all, because it's just not it's not very cool, you know. It's not very professional. You know, Iris, you said it better than I could. Iris says it seems very cheesy and a turn off. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So that's the kind of stuff you don't want to do. But instead, I recommend you use the email on the next slide, because this exact email, this word for word, has been responsible for over $100,000 of sales in my business. And if you look at previous versions of it, because I've developed it over time, it's multiple I mean, it might even be over a million. Just you could probably trace it back, but certainly hundreds and hundreds of thousands of sales for me personally in my business. So powerful. And if you're, let's say you're brand new, you've never done anything online, no one knows you, this will work. Okay, so let me walk you through this. First of all, subject line, long shot. Curiosity driven, slightly unusual, gets them to open the email. Personalization, so you put, hi John, hi Susie. This is a long shot as we haven't communicated before, so my apologies in advance for this rather abrupt approach. What does this do? Let me know in the questions box. What's the purpose of this opening sentence? Yeah, it breaks the ice. Exactly. Brandon got it. Yeah, puts them at ease. Exactly. It's a disarmer. It disarms them, basically. So imagine you go to someone in the street and you walk up to them and go, where's the library? You know, they're going to be quite taken back, aren't they? They're like, what do you mean? You know, it's not, that's not the way to do it. However, if you go up to them and go, excuse me, sorry to bother you, but I wondered if you could tell me where the library is, you'll get a completely different response. So what we're doing here is we're acknowledging, you know, yeah, I know, oh, sorry, we haven't been in touch before, so I know it's a bit weird, you know, however, and then straight away their guard comes down, they're relaxed because they know you're normal, you're a human being, all right, rather than just going in a really bad way like the previous example. I'm about to release a new product, so get straight to the point, all right? Don't beat around the bush, straight in there. I'm about to release a new product all about the topic of the product, which helps people and how it helps people. So let's look at our ultimate squeeze page example that we just went through. What we would say there is something like, I'm about to release a new product all about squeeze pages, which helps people create really high converting squeeze pages in a fraction of the time and hassle that it normally takes them. That's it. No long-winded stuff. We're respectful of their time. Very, very simple. But can you see what it does? What it also does is give them an idea of how they could promote it. Because then they're thinking, oh, right, I've got an email list. Yeah, so this sounds good, right? I could just email my email list and go, hi, you know, Susie here or John here. I've just, this new product has just come on my radar. It's really interesting. It's all about squeeze pages and it really helps you create high converting squeeze pages in the fraction of the time and hassle it would normally take you. Here's a link, go and check it out. So can you see with this simple sentence, we've not only, you know, got straight to the point and got our point over, but we've also implanted in their mind, almost subconsciously, how they could actually promote it. It makes their job easier. Now, here's an optional one. Only put this in if you're sure. Often I'm not, so I leave it out, but it's up to you. I thought it might be of interest to you, as I know you focus on this yourself. So if you know that they focused on squeeze pages or email list building, for example, then you could put that in. A few details on the products, or the product, should I say. And then, do you think this might be worthy of recommendation to your audience, Susie or John? So think about that. What was that, the bad example? What did that say? I know your list is going to dig it. That's what they said to me. I know your list is going to dig it. Whereas we're not doing that. We're being very professional and nice and pleasant and genuine, saying, look, do you think this might be worthy of recommendation to your audience? So there's also a compliment in here, if you think about it, because we're saying, do you think this might be worthy? That implies that they have high standards. It's a compliment, and they should have high standards because those are the kind of people well, certainly I like to work with, you know, online, not sort of low quality stuff, you know, you want to work with quality, genuine people. So that's quite powerful. You're probably starting to see it's a simple email, isn't it? But there's actually quite a lot going on beneath the surface, sort of psychologically and subliminally. Love to hear your thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent, and also open to future joint venture proposals and how I might be able to support you. If you're brand new, starting out from scratch, you can still say this. All you're saying is like, hey, look, if I can help you in any way, always happy to look at that and do what I can. Right, that's it. For just being nice. What's going on here? This sentence we just looked at? What's the key to that? Yeah, reciprocity. Exactly. It's something called reciprocity. This is like if somebody sends you a Christmas card, you feel like you should send them one back, or a birthday card, you feel like you send one back. Sometimes, I mean, driving's different from country to country, but often, particularly here in the US, if somebody lets you in at a junction, a little bit later on down the line, you're more likely to let someone else in and return the favor, even if it's somebody else. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. It's also a compliment, because love to hear your thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent. You're asking for their opinion. And when you ask someone a question or ask for their view, that's a compliment, because it implies that you value what they've got to say. So I won't go into too much depth here, but like with all of this stuff, it's not hard, but there's various things that go on beneath the surface that most people just not even aware of. So if you're willing to spend a little bit of time just learning how things work, there's a load of great stuff you can do online and business stuff. Get away from all this push button software nonsense and all that kind of gimmicks. This is what's real. This is what really works. So I'd really invite you to use that. This is exactly word for word what I've used. I've done so much business off it. It's great. So let me ask you this. This is a rhetorical question, and it's just up to you. I'm not going to ask you to let me know on this. It's just because it's your choice. Which would you rather do of the following two options? Here's option one. Create a free report, build a squeeze page, spend money on ads to get cold traffic, or do lots of article marketing or similar. Track, test, and tweak to improve conversions. Create an email sequence to warm up the prospects. Offer your product and hope they buy. That's option one. And if you do that, and you keep doing it, and you're very diligent, and you do all the testing, you have the right software in place, you write the right emails, create the right products and everything, it works. It's a proven way. Or here's option two. Just send 5 to 10 emails like the one I just showed you to get warm and targeted traffic to make sales straight away. So the other thing with Nano products is that it's all about sales. And it's sales online that put money in your bank account, and that's what gives you the lifestyle. The lifestyle we all love. That's how I live down here on the coast and have a brilliant life. I can see blue sky through my window. Now, it'd be lovely to go outside. I might do that later, or down to the beach. All of that is because of the internet. And it's all about sales. That's what it's about at the end of the day, So if you focus on sales first, you will find that everything else falls into place behind it. So it's really just about making sales as quickly as possible, but also doing it in a very genuine way, in a way that you're creating products and genuinely helping customers. So it's up to you which one you do, but hopefully you can see why now just so many, virtually all successful people online have their own products. So here are 9 great reasons you should use Nano products to start up your new web business or add them to your existing business. There's no bogging down. You can see the finish line before you start. When I say finish line, I mean sales. That's what it is, because sales equals money in the bank account equals lifestyle, which is the ultimate, what we really want to do. So if you've ever started these projects where it feels like a mountain to climb, where you get derailed or it all becomes very foggy and it's just, you can feel the weight on your shoulders. These aren't like that, because think about those 40-minute chunks. You can move forward. You can see how quickly you can create these products. And even if you're just working part-time, you've got a job full-time, as long as you can do 40-minute, you can move forward, all right? And obviously, if you want to do 2 or 3 or more 40-minute segments a day, then that's great, of course. So we all go at different speeds and so on, but you can move forward quickly without getting bogged down and just enjoy it, all right? So there's no problem here. It's just moving forward, in a nice, pleasant way and getting towards sales and money. There's fast turnarounds of cash. particularly on the creation side. Remember that 6 hours. That's a really good rule of thumb. If it takes longer than that, you're probably creating too much, almost certainly. They almost sell themselves, not quite. You need to give them a little push, but because they do what they say on their tin, they're easy to understand, and they're in that, remember that impulse buy price range. These are all factors which make them relatively easy to sell. All right, so much easier to sell. And you can sell lots of them, lots of units, which also helps with list building, of course, to build the buyers list. The traffic involves sending emails. So no big tracking or testing, risking your own money, not wondering if you're ever going to get it back, spending all this time on social media, all that complex stuff. You let other people do that. Affiliates can do that and then send the traffic over, and we just automatically reward them. There's no complex funnels or systems. Works in any profitable niche. It's got to be a profitable niche, but any profitable niche. You're not teaching anyone anything. It's a non-expert method. So if you're starting out like I was 7 years ago, it's perfect. That's one of the reasons, one of several reasons why this is the thing I'd do back when I started. If I could go back in time, and if you took everything away from me today, again, without question, without doubt, it's exactly what I'd do. We talked also about the high trend that's going on. It's not just in internet marketing. You know, we talked about the things that are happening in people's lives where bite-sized information is becoming more and more important. Perfect timing. And I think the last thing, for me at least, I'm sure for you, is really important, because you're genuinely helping people and customers. There's a lot of things online that you can get sucked into or tempted by. But if you take a step back and think, would I be happy sharing this with my friends or family? You might think, oh, I don't know, actually, I'll probably just keep it to myself, because you're sort of a bit half embarrassed by it. It's a bit sort of shady, or not quite, you know, not quite sure. But these kind of products, they're brilliant, right? You could show friends and family. They're like, wow, you create this. Yeah, that's good. And they genuinely get it. It's just back to kind of, you know, proper old-fashioned value, you know? So you can probably understand the excitement and why I've received so many questions on Nano products. And as a result of that, I've put together a package. Okay, I mentioned at the start of the presentation that I'm going to talk a little bit about the training day that comes up, and there's also a wider package that I've put together around that. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then just in a few minutes we'll have some questions. So any questions you got at all about anything we've seen or anything else, I'll be very happy to answer that. So the purpose of the Nano Product Publisher and Passive Income Fast Track is to give you everything you need to go from a complete standing start to bringing in cash online using Nano products. And this is possible in weeks. It's not about spending months creating big products, ebooks, and all this getting bogged down. This is a very, very fluid, lovely system to move forward with that is real. Right, you're really actually making sales, proper sales, by genuinely helping customers. Now, you might want to make a note of this. It all starts with the Fast Track Training Day. Now, this is on Saturday, the 22nd of April, just in a few weeks' time. We go from 9 till 5:30, London Heathrow, and I look after you, so we've got refreshments and lunch and all that kind of stuff. But the important point is that we spend the day together. So I've only been able to show you, you know, the broad kind of outline today in the short time that we've had available. But when we're together in the room, it's so much better than doing it online. It's a small group. I can log into my system, show you exactly what I've done, behind the scenes, how the traffic works, give you loads of examples. I can answer your questions. We can have chat in the breaks and over lunch. It's just the perfect starting point. Nothing really can be better than that. So much better than, as good as webinars are or videos online. That's why we're doing it this way and having the training day. But the training day is just the launch pad. It's the starting point of the process. So here's some of what I'll show you during that day, how to find profitable nano topics, because there are many things online you probably know that are popular, but they're not actually profitable. And that's because if you think of examples like history, for example, yes, there's books on history, but it's not really a profitable area in terms of information marketing. So it's really important that you're picking areas where money is already changing hands and they're actually profitable. The 5 content methods I use for my nano products. We looked at Google earlier. We've looked at Google, you know, in a couple of examples a few minutes ago, but there are other ways of sourcing content in a similar fashion. Okay, all available online. All right, you don't need to leave your chair for this, but I'll show you how I do it. It's really a great way. So you're bringing together all these valuable resources into something that's very, very powerful in terms of the nano product itself. Efficient creation and outsourcing. Notice I've highlighted the word efficient here because you don't want to get involved in going around in circles or doing things kind of inefficiently. You want to do the process in the right order so it's clean. It takes, you know, a small amount of time, but you get a lot done. I've shown you how to do them yourself here today, you know, with Google and things like that. You can outsource them as well. I do this occasionally. So when we're there on the day, I'll log into my outsourcing account and walk you through some specific jobs where I've done this. So that's an option for you as well, because of course, you know, you probably know that there are sites out there and the internet is full of people who are high quality researchers and writers and all these kind of people that work from home that you can tap into and get them to do this work for you if you wish. And I do that sometimes, but I also enjoy creating them myself. Also, there's other formats. So we sort of touched on this. We look mainly at PDF, but there's audio and video as well. We'll talk about that. Again, you don't have to do the audio and video yourself. That's easily outsourced. Now, the online setup, that's the brilliant thing about being online, is that once it is set up, it's automated. However, you have got to set it up in the first place. So I'll show you how to do this and we'll build it live during the day. It's very simple, but you've got to do it in the right order. Now, on the traffic side, we'll look at a number of things, but really one of the important things is how to find the right affiliates, because it's very important to get the targeting right. This is all done online. There's a little system I have for this that I will show you, including a little template, and it just enables you to get the right kind of traffic for the product, okay? Because you want to make sure it's matched well. We looked at the 40-minute thing, didn't we, earlier on, and that's a really good thing to keep you on track and make it clean, enjoyable, and remove any kind of weight from your shoulders. Just make you enjoy the whole thing, because I really enjoy the process. But there are a number of other things in terms of free tools and time hacks that I use that I'm going to talk to you about as well, because that just means that you can get more done in less time. We'll look at some alternative rapid traffic sources as well. Affiliates aren't the only way. And we'll look at cashing in on the back end, because all we've talked about, or we've had time to talk about, is what happens on the front end. In other words, initial sales. But you can, as you probably know, do lots of other stuff a little later on. That is later in the process and so on. But I want to show you that as well and what I do, because there's an awful lot of money there as well. Now, there's a number of bonuses, my personal list of 60 plus, over 60 non-expert nano product topics. This is just from my own research over the months that I've been doing this. I just sort of collected this up, so I'm just going to give them to you. So you will not be sure, one thing's for sure, you will not be sure on ideas or topics, all right? Done for you online templates. So when I start a new project, I do not start from scratch. 90% of the time, I start from templates and frameworks and little cheat sheets and stuff that I've developed over the years. This just, for me, it just reduces a bottleneck. So I don't have to go completely from scratch each time. It gives me a head start. They're proven because I've used them time and time again to make hundreds of thousands online. And I'm going to give them to you so we can inject these into your business from the get-go, from the start, so you've got that platform to build on right from day one. And also, if you know anything about me, you'll know I'm very, very big on supporting you personally. So there's 6 months of one-on-one startup and profit growth email mentoring from me personally. So this is not an assistant or anything like that. I'm here to help you. I've been there, I've done it many times, I've made money every time. I know each part of the system. I know all the potential sticking points where you can trip yourself up and so on, and I can just guide you through it. I'm your guide for the whole process. So that's what's included: the fast track training day, the ideas, the nano product ideas, the done for you templates, and 6 months of my help, immensely valuable. Now the price, there is a one-on-one option for this, that it won't be, it's not for everyone, but if you've been on my list, you will probably know about this. I do this occasionally, and that's $29.95, which is around £2,400, and it's called the 30-day business accelerator. You might remember this. What we do is over 30 days we have 4 one-on-one Skype calls. So it's 4 hours, but just me and you personally working together on your business. So if you would like to do that, let me know, send me an email and we can look into that. I only work with certain people, obviously, because I want to make sure that I can actually help you. I can't help everyone. But that's immensely powerful because you've just got my pure time dedicated to your business. And I've helped quite a few people in this way make fairly decent amount of money, people with businesses already and people starting out as well have done really, really well with this. But I know that's not for everyone. And also we don't get to meet in person with this. This is just over Skype, okay, the one-on-one. What I wanted to do with Nano products is really open it out, make it really affordable and available to anyone who's really serious about stepping up, as we mentioned earlier. So for everything we've talked about, the price is just $17.95. Now please keep that in mind, because we're going to come back to this a little bit later, this $17.95. Now there is a guarantee, because your peace of mind is crucial to me. So let's just talk about that now, and I'm going to read these out actually. The first part of the guarantee is come along to the training day, and if by lunchtime you feel this is not for you for any reason, simply have a quiet word with me and I will refund your investment in full, no questions asked, and we'll part as friends. So I think that's really fair, because I've tried to give you as much of a taster as I can in the short time that we've had available today. But as well as that, we've you can actually come to the training day itself and really, if you think, oh, actually, I've made a mistake, this is not for me, it's totally fine. Okay, so I think that's really fair. The second guarantee is attend the training day, take the materials and the entire package, ask me questions and use my support. Go through, implement everything and put the system to work. If you haven't made a penny whatsoever with an entire 12-month period, let me know and I'll refund everything plus give you £100 for your trouble. So I think combined with the first guarantee, I feel I can't really be fairer than that. Now I've also added some very special bonuses for applying early. I'll mention why I'm encouraging early applications in a moment. But first have a look at these. The first one is a done-for-you sales system setup. So once your Nano product offer is ready to go, I'll set up your sales system for you. That includes the product configuration, optimized affiliate attraction information, automatic product delivery, so customers automatically get their products, email list integration, so customers automatically added to your buyers list, autoresponder emails, so customers are automatically followed up with. I've got templates for all of these and I will put them in your system for you. And note, this is your system, not anyone else's. It's not going to cost you any money, this at all, okay? But you do need to set it up right. It's not that difficult, but if it's the first time you've done it, you just want that peace of mind that it's correct. And that's what this does for you. You just know that it's correct and you can kind of rest easy. Now the second thing is we can get on Skype and we can talk about your business. What I like to do is map these out on the screen. So what we've got is a one-on-one rapid income business planner Skype call with me. And you can trigger this at any time during the 6 months, all right? Immediately after the training day, or you might want to wait a few weeks, a little bit down the line when you're more up and running, and we can take it from there. It's entirely up to you. But again, this is another important point of the personalization. Now, the Apply Early Bonus C is something very special indeed, which is my 5-step system for selling the pants off any quality online offer. It's called the Irresistible Desire Formula. It's something I've developed kind of over the years through a lot of trial and error and testing. And it's perfect for Nano products, but also for affiliate offers, membership sites, high price products, and so on. So, you know, last year I got this result, almost 5,000 sales, 4,967 sales, you can see, over $70,000 in revenue in just 8 days. Now that took me a few weeks to set up. It took me 3 or 4 weeks to set this up before the 8 days. I'll be, you know, for full disclosure. The reason why this did so well is because I applied this irresistible desire formula so well to it. Okay, it's like the rocket fuel. As long as you've got a good offer in the first place, remember we talked about this, you can't have a junk offer. It's got to be good quality, and it will be, provided you follow the Nano system. Then you can really 5 times the sales, 10 times the sales by just tweaking a few little things. These are like hot buttons that just encourage more and more and more sales. It's very, very powerful. So it's a huge point of leverage. You can use great with nanos, but also other things online as well. And finally, the final bonus is my passive and recurring income streams method. So check this out. This is what I was doing earlier on the slides, just kind of putting a few of these in. Now this is complementary to Nano products. What you're seeing, see very recent sales here, the end of last month. This is pure recurring and passive income that comes into my business. So the traffic source is different. It's not affiliates, it's a different traffic source, and it's very passive. It takes me about 15-20 minutes maximum, sometimes even less, per month, 15 to 20 minutes per month to maintain it. I'll show you how to set this up, because if you can get a few of these income streams going in your business as well as the Nano product stuff, then that is a very, very powerful and potent combination, because it's all about, you know, monthly income. That's the key to this whole business, really, and this is a very powerful method of that. Now I wanted to show you this. Now on the training day, when we're there in person, these are screenshots that you're seeing on the screen at the moment, but on the training day I will log in live to this system and a few other systems like it as well, and you can see what this is, how it works. I'll talk you through it. I'll show you the traffic logs of exactly where the traffic comes from. It's all very passive traffic as well, and show you how to do this. All right, look, it goes back, there's January. All right, check the dates out on the left and the amounts, they all vary, you know, $114, $5, 17, 1875, 57, and so on. December, September, June, and so on. All right, so it goes on and on. Now as well, I'll show you some other income streams as well. This one is a different one. Again, I took a recent screenshot of this. Actually today's date, I think we're filming this webinar. You can see up here on the 4th, I think it's the 4th today, I believe. So this again, if you look at the dates and the revenue, so this is the thing. If you imagine your business as the Nano product in the middle, and then surrounding that Nano product, you've got lots and lots of different income streams, then the Nano product is the engine which can really kind of amplify those as well. All right, so these are different systems, but they're very complementary. So this is one thing we'll have time to go through, and I will log into these systems and really show you the system of how I do this. All right, again, remember what he said earlier, this is just real stuff. What I'm showing you here, this is how I make money online. This is a big part of my business. So you know, it's real stuff that's got a system behind it. So let's summarize this. The Nano product publisher and passive income fast track all starts with the fast track training day. So valuable that we can spend the day together. I'll be in the hotel actually the night before because I'm traveling from Cornwall, long way. So if you fancy coming the night before, we can grab a few drinks. I'll buy you dinner, and we can have a chat more informally, you know, before we get started on the Saturday. The first bonus is my personal list of 60 non-expert nano product topics. The done-for-you online templates. That's immensely valuable. I've developed these over the years. My personal mentoring. Done-for-you sales system setup. One-on-one rapid income business planner Skype call. Okay, we can jump on Skype. The irresistible desire formula. That's really, remember, that's like the rocket fuel for your business. And finally, the passive and recurring income streams method, which in itself is a great source of revenue, you know, but also a brilliant complement to the other things. Now, as I mentioned, that's just $17.95, right? Compare that to these push button big programs. They push you into group training and social media support. You've got me personally. This is what I do day in, day out. And you've got me to help you right through the process, as well as all the resources. We get to spend that day together as well. I did mention a little moment ago that I'm very keen on early applications, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The first is really because there's a training day, there's a few logistics involved in that, and I always like to get that sealed up as quickly as possible, so it's all kind of planned in advance and so on. So there's a bit of a time limit there, and that's part of the reason. The other reason though is really the people who do the best online are the ones that take action, seize good opportunities and go, yeah, let's step up, let's do this. This is a system. Learn how the system works, put it to work and benefit from it. That's what this is all about, and that's who I created this for. So for that reason, for early applications, instead of $17.95, I'm going to knock full £500 off that. So the entire thing is $12.95 for everything that we've talked about. There's a few extra surprises as well I haven't mentioned, which I'll talk about in the training day as well, which are really cool. But everything we talked about here as well. So here's what to do now. If you go to www.gainhigherground.com/apply, what that will enable you to do is leave a real person deposit of £100. I call it real person because it's just, you know, to keep the time wasters away, and it's fully 100% refundable, this deposit. Your deposit is completely protected, okay? So there's no risk at all. What happens after that, you'll get forwarded to a screen, and you also get emailed the link to a place where you can actually get access to my calendar. So it looks something like this, and you can select the time that you would like us to speak in my calendar. There's also a short questionnaire which take probably 3 minutes or so to fill out, and what that will do is just give me a kind of better idea about where you are and where you'd like to get to. So we've got a bit of a head start when we talk on the phone. So it's usually about 15-20 minute calls, and I will say about the call, it's not a sales call. There's no pressure to do anything whatsoever. All right, so it's just very relaxed, and the only purpose of it really is just to figure out if this is right for you. There's no upsells or anything or any stuff like that or anything. And the result of that call, at the end of the call, there'll be one of two things will happen. Firstly, it could be that this is, you know, this is right for you. It all sounds great. I'm very happy to have you along to the training day to kick things off and so on and enroll you. And that's brilliant. If that's the case, we'll process your balance and we'll move forward, and you know, we'll be together just in a few weeks as well, because it's not long, which is brilliant. On the other hand, it might be that actually maybe the timing's not right, or something you know, it's not quite right, good fit for you at this point, and that's absolutely fine. It's no problem at all, and that could be either of us deciding that. And in that case, what we'll do is immediately I will refund your, while we're on the call, I will refund your £100 deposit. So you've got that back, you've lost absolutely nothing, and everything is as it is at the moment. I will say, if this resonates with you at all, then you'll never know unless you apply. You just won't know. So if you've got any questions, you want to talk this through, just apply, okay? This is an opportunity, but you can see for obvious reasons it's very limited. So that's the process. Hopefully that makes sense. Here's a little summary here of the main, what's included, and also the link, www.gainhighground.com/apply. And if what I can do is actually switch over and have a look at the questions box. If you've got any questions now, I would love to help answer them, whether it's about the package or nano products in general. Or I don't want to go too much off track actually, but anything else really, while we've got the advantage of speaking like this, I'll be very happy to help. So let's have a look actually at the questions box. I'll just have a sip of water here. So let's have a look. How many will be in the training day? Well, at this stage, I can't tell you exactly because obviously this is in progress and I'm speaking to people at the moment. I will say, I'll give you categorical guarantee, cast iron guarantee, there will not be more than 15 because the personal touch is very important to me and also very valuable for you, I believe. So it won't be, I limit them to 15 because I can't, beyond that, you know, I can't answer all the questions and chat with everyone and that kind of thing. So, you know, when I've done things like this in the past, it's usually anywhere between, I think the lowest number I've ever had is probably like 6 or 7, and the highest number was 15. Okay, because I always limit them. So it's a very small group. I think that's important. So will there be video footage of the training day? Well, the short answer is yes. So this is not separate, sold separately at all. It's just for people who attend. So after you've attended, what I want you to do is come to the training day and just enjoy it, relax and absorb it. But with the best will in the world, you're not going to walk away with sort of 100% crystal clear, remembering absolutely every single point that you know we've gone through. It's just, life's not like that. Okay, I'm not like that either. No one is. So what I would give you, and we'll talk about this on the training day, is footage. I'll show you online. Give you access to the footage of the training day, and so you can recap at any time in the future. And you can go through that and you've got everything that you've seen on the day. So you don't have to panic on the day. You know, if it's something you think, oh, I'd like to just hear that again, you can ask me a question, of course, but then you've got it all at home as well. So that's something I didn't actually mention going through this, but it is included. So the full professionally filmed footage for you. So let's see. What else? Is there a live stream? Unfortunately not, Deborah, and I do apologize, you are in Canada. We did, I did another seminar recently. I had somebody fly over from Colorado in the US, so if you'd like to come over, you're very welcome. I don't know which side of whereabouts in Canada you are, but if not, I apologize for no live streaming, but it's just because of this particular package, it kind of wouldn't work so well, I don't think. Does the price include VAT? Yes, that's from Stephen. Yes, it does. VAT is on this, but I'm covering that for you. Okay, so that's included. So it's not plus VAT. VAT is included. Unable to physically attend. Okay. Iris, if you would like to apply, we can have a chat or send me an email. We could chat and see if we can work something out there, Iris. Okay. Okay, Jordan says, when interviewing someone for a mastermind or interviewing a few people to package together for a mastermind series product, what script questions would you use? First thing, Jordan, great question. I wouldn't package together interviews. I wouldn't do it because I think it devalues things. If you know, a package of interviews comes across as very general, you know, a bit more blunt information, people think, well, why buy this? Why not just listen to podcasts? Podcasts are free. So the power, part of the thing with nano products is that small is beautiful. Remember that. Actually, less is more, right? If you say, let me ask you this, Jordan, what's more powerful? The 7 secrets to getting a great golfing swing. 7 secrets to getting a great golfing swing. Is that more powerful, or is this more powerful? The one big secret that nobody knows to getting a great golfing swing. I think most people would say the one secret is more powerful than the 7 secrets. And you'll find this, it's a little trick, it's a bit subtle, but it's very, very powerful. Less is actually more. So first thing I'd say, Jordan, is just do one interview, all right? I've done these, I didn't show it in the presentation, but one of my nano products is actually an audio, and it's like a 60-minute interview, all right? It's just on traffic, and there was one little nugget, great nugget of information, and that was the pulling power. That's what people bought it for, all right? I sold hundreds of copies of that. So I hope that helps a bit. Madeline, it's too far to come. You're in Devon. Well, I'm next door in Cornwall, Madeline. So, you know, you could go, couldn't you? I don't think Devon's too far. It would be great to see you if you'd like to reconsider, Madeline. So let's have a look. So with nano products, is it necessary to have them part of a larger funnel process? No, you don't have to have a larger funnel process as well, Norm. They're good standalone options, all right? And if you want to, you can build a business just on nano products, just selling that, all right? However, obviously, we alluded to a little bit of the back end. I talked about that's one of the topics for the training day. So, you know, if you learn a bit more about that and start thinking, okay, well, we've got the nano products here, that's great, but actually there's some more money available, you know, with not too much more work, just by adopting this back end strategy here and bolting this on, then that's where you start to build a business out. I would recommend, Norm, that you do it in that order. Don't sit there with a blank sheet of paper mapping out this grand design for a business. You'll never complete it, guarantee it. So start small. This is why nano products are so great, is you can get the ball rolling, getting sales in, making money, building your list with that. And yes, that's good enough on its own, right? You could make a full-time living doing that. But then if you start looking at other strategies, which are maybe a little bit more back end, suitable for the back end of your business. In other words, once people are already on your list, then that's where, you know, you can develop that out. Okay. So love the presentation and approach. Unfortunately, family health issues mean you won't be able to attend, Dal, but I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I wish you all the best with that. And thank you very much for, you know, for saying that. I appreciate the feedback, and I hope that you know, you can benefit from some of the stuff that we've gone through, but I wish you all the best with the health side of things. How to nano products offered by other affiliates to help get your own email list. Nigel, can you clarify that point, please? I'm not quite sure. Deborah's in Toronto. Oh, I'd love to visit Toronto, Deborah. I've been to the extremes. I've been to the west side, I've been to Vancouver, and I've been to Nova Scotia, the other side, but I've not gone to, you know, Toronto or anything like that. I would love to come over. That's great. Let's have a look. How to nano products. Nigel, I still don't understand what you mean, the way you phrased it. How to nano products offered by, maybe you can rephrase that, please, or send me an email. All right, brilliant. How do you generate your own email list of affiliate marketing products. Do you mean off affiliate marketing products? I don't know, Nigel. Okay, yes, all right. I'm not sure. That's really sort of different method. I think if you're just doing affiliate marketing on its own, then you would use squeeze pages and so on. But of course, if you do that, then you've got to, you tell me how you're going to get the traffic. You're going to spend your money on Facebook ads, or you're going to do lots of article marketing or content marketing and so on. So, you know, that's fine, it works, but, you know, it's a lot of work or a lot of money and a lot of detailed split testing and so on. So that's really not the sort of route I'd recommend, really, certainly to anyone starting out. So let's see what else we've got. Do I need to prepare in any way for the training day? That's a good question. No, you don't. The training day is just the starting point. It's the launch pad. So it's absolutely everything you need I've brought to the table. So you don't actually need to bring anything either. If you'd like to bring a laptop, then that's absolutely fine. I know some people prefer to make notes on a laptop. I'm a bit more old school. I like pen and paper, but if you want to bring a laptop or something, there's free Wi-Fi, so that's all fine. But you really don't need to bring anything. And even a pen and paper, I even provide that for you, okay? So really, you just got to be there, and that is the starting point. Everything else, all of these things will go through very methodically, will explain, I'll walk you through the entire system, and that's where everything starts to move from there. Okay, so that's good, because you can, then you've got the peace of mind, you know, you can secure your place, and if you want to, you can just put your feet up and rest easy knowing that you're booked in and everything's sorted, and then just enjoy the training day, and then everything will unfold as it should from that point. So just to reiterate, are we able to do this if we're completely starting from scratch, meaning no website, list, etc.? Great question, and absolutely 100% yes. That's exactly what I've put together here for you. So absolutely nothing is assumed. You don't need a website, don't need a list, you don't need any experience. If this is your first hour or first day in internet marketing, you've never heard of it before, that's fine as well, okay? The only thing we do need to make sure is that it's right for you. And that's why I'm not letting anyone in here. I want to speak to you personally so we can chat this through and make sure it's a good fit. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But in terms of experience or list, you absolutely don't need it. And to be honest, that's kind of, in a way, it's sort of an advantage because you haven't got that baggage already. You know, it's quite refreshing to just have a clean slate. Madeline, will you be doing any more training sessions? I can't say, I will never say never, but I doubt it. It's probably almost certainly not, is the answer to that. Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure maybe more questions will come to mind. If you do have that and this resonates with you, apply. Like I said before, you'll never know unless you apply. So come along, let's talk about it, and we'll see if it's right for you. Okay, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's a brilliant opportunity, and I don't think you're going to see anything like this anywhere else, and it's real. So if it resonates, let's get it on. I've been there and done it and made so much money with this stuff, so it's incredibly valuable. But thank you very much for attending the webinar. I really hope you've enjoyed it and I've been able to share some important stuff that you can use. Some of these tactics are very, very useful, not just for nano products, but all sorts of other things, as we've alluded to. So this is the real skill and the core of what making money is all about, really, online. That's one of the reasons I love it. So thank you very much. Loads of great comments coming in, and thanks to each and every one of you from attending. I hope to speak to you soon on the phone. Take care for now. Bye.